What's up, everybody? Jay Miller here, and I am bringing you another monthly focus. This time we're doing it for June 2017. And before I jump into it, I wanted to give a recap on last month. My focus was thinking lean, being lean. And I have an update on that. I was able to make some big decisions, or in this case, I held off on making some pretty crazy decisions based on the idea of me wanting to be lean and shifting my focus on the things that I'm currently doing and making some sacrifices in some areas to not only save a little bit of money, but to also spend less time consuming and more time putting in work. And I think that overall that helped me to have a lean mindset. Now, one area that I did falter in last month was not focusing on my physical fitness as much as I'd like to. I'm going to get back into that. I'm going to keep telling myself I'm going to get back into it until it happens and it becomes a reality and I stop making excuses and just do it. But with that all said, it is a new month, which means it is time for a new focus. And I'm glad to say that my partner in crime, Lee Stetson, the co-host of the Loosely Connected podcast, if you haven't listened to it yet, be sure to go check that out at productivityandtech.com. But Lee has decided that he is going to be doing this monthly focus with me, and who knows, maybe in the future we'll be doing them together. But the monthly focus for this month is actually focus. That's it, just focus. Now, I'm going to get into the bullet journal spread. I know a lot of you came for the bullet journaling. I am so glad to hear that there are people that are really getting into analog productivity. I think it helps me to focus. I'm hoping that it might help you to focus, and I'm hoping that doing these monthly focuses will allow us all to improve ourselves and be more of whatever it is we're trying to be. As you saw the video playing, the breakdown of my bullet journal setup for the month, we're going to go all the way back to the beginning and talk about that first page, which is my visual reminder. I'm going to look at it each day and use that as a way to remember that this month is all about being focused. Now, the first thing on that is one thing at one time. This is the fundamental definition of focus, having your entire attention set on one thing. Now, whether that's a task, whether that's a goal, my objective is at all times, I want to be focused on one thing. And that leads into the second part. Everything else can take a number. Now, this is important because a lot of times we decide to do things as they come in. We decide to handle tasks as they're given, not as it pertains to us. Part of being focused in our life means deciding the priority of things. That doesn't mean just doing it as it comes in. That means saying, hey, here are my priorities. I'm going to put this somewhere in between this and this. Basically, I'm going to give it a number. And if it takes someone else's number, it does. Everything has to shift down. That means I'm only focusing on one thing, and there's a queue, and everything in that queue has its respects. And when I get done with the first thing, I'll move to the next. And when I get done with that thing, I'll move to the next. And I'll keep doing that until everything is done, one step at a time. That way, nothing gets forgotten and everything gets accomplished at the best of my ability, because I'm diverting all of my attention and energy into one thing. So let's talk about some of the areas that I'm going to be doing that in. The first place is at home. This past month, I got to go out and enjoy a great time at Universal Studios with my wife. We absolutely enjoyed it. It was amazing. Be on the lookout for a blog post more about that. I had a blast. Don't tell her, she'll make me go more often. No, it's quite all right. But one thing that I want to do this month is focus on spending more quality time with my wife. Now, as soon as I get done recording this video, we're actually going to jump right into that. We're going to be reading a couple of books together this month. The first one is Die Empty by 10. This is going to be a nightly occurrence with my wife and I, where we're reading through this book and we are learning and growing together. And I got this idea from Productivity in Tech advisor Jeremy Wells. Jeremy, thank you so much for the idea. But my wife and I are going to be reading this together. We're going to be talking through it. We're going to be working together to make ourselves better. But outside of that, we're also going to be spending more time with each other. We're going to be doing more things with each other. In fact, one of my goals for this month is to set aside 2 day dates to spend with my wife. Now, I have family coming in at the end of the month, so I know that it's going to be a little tough, but I wanted to make this challenging, and I wanted to have a way for me to focus all of my attention on my wife. And what better way to do that is than to get away from all the things that are here and just get away from it all and just focus and spend time with each other. Now at work, that's going to be a little bit different. This is where everything else can take a number is going to be the most important. My goal for work is to reduce task switching. Now, where I work, I'm a system administrator. I get a lot of phone calls, and in those phone calls, people often want me to drop everything that I'm doing and start working on whatever the next thing is, and then have to go back to the big project. That's got to stop. This month, my goal is going to be less time spent on the phone, more time focusing on the things that are as more important, and having a dedicated time to field user issues. Now, there are going to be some things that I'll have to just stop and help with that only take a couple of seconds to do. And that'll be okay. But the important thing is I want to be able to jump into my work and have a dedicated time to focus. And what that's going to look like is there's going to be a set amount of time each day that I spend where I don't answer the phone, and I only focus on the things that are on my projects list. And I think if I do that, I will be able to get more accomplished than I ever imagined. Now, the last thing is going to be generating amazing content in Productivity in Tech. Now, my focus has been for the longest time growing the community and giving the community great things to look at, but I want to shift my thoughts from growing the community to providing it with the best content as possible. We've gotten to a point now where I'm starting to have to recruit help inside of the community, and I'm so thankful for the advisors that have stepped up, the team that has stepped up, our writers, our other podcaster, Lee, and our moderators in the community. Thank you all for stepping up. But by doing that, that has given me the time and energy available that I can start working on creating content. That means more blog posts. I know you've noticed in the past few days I've been writing more, and I'm going to continue writing more. So if you haven't yet, please subscribe to the Pit blog. And of course, more videos like this, more videos that when I'm breaking something down, I'm able to actually show you what I mean instead of just talking about it. Now, of course, you'll see pictures of me and you'll see videos of me doing things and explaining them. And there will also be a few reflections and productivity tips, but I want there to be more interactive content. That means tutorials on applications, me explaining concepts and thoughts and ideas. But all of this is wrapped around the general idea that I want to provide more content to you. If you want to do this month's challenge with us, let us know below. And if you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Also, if you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to the channel. And of course, if you're getting value from Productivity in Tech, whether it's our Facebook group, which you can find at productivityintech.com/join, or whether it's on YouTube, through the podcast, through the blogs, I hope you would consider becoming a monthly patron for $1 a month or more, as much as you'd like to give. You can help ensure that Productivity in Tech stays alive, stays growing, and keeps on creating the content that you've come to enjoy so much. But that's it for tonight. I'm Jay Miller, and I'll talk to you later.